So you're going into Congress, and there's so many expectations, really, for change everywhere. Congress, White House. Is it coming?
It's absolutely coming. You know, we're in obviously a very chaotic environment throughout the whole world, not just in our country, but throughout the whole world. But we need leaders, and I think we have a lot of leaders that are coming on board that are able to see clarity through this chaos.
What is the change that you hope and wish and promise to bring?
Well, since we're going to be talking about defense and foreign policy here, one of the things that I want to see, and I think that's going to happen, is you're going to see a stronger America, at least in foreign policy-wise. You're going to see peace through strength. You're going to see a rebuilding of the military, which will help to, of course, stabilize places like the Middle East, but also the world in general. You're going to see the strength from our perspective in our partnerships with countries like Israel to achieve that peace and stability around the world. So those are things you're going to see.
What it really will be the balance between, on the one hand, America taking care of itself, first of all, not interfering in every single conflict, but on the other hand, as you said, friends like Israel helping, maybe interfering, but how do you see that balance?
Well, I see it. I think that we can thread the needle between dealing with our issues at home, which I'm sure that we will, but also with being a partner that's reliable to our folks like Israel that are obviously a great strategic allies in the region. I think that you're going to see a foreign policy that is very strong, but also understands that there are finite resources and that we don't want to get bogged down in unnecessary conflicts. So you're going to see a practical foreign policy. You're going to see one that is strong but doesn't get bogged down in places that we don't need to be necessarily for our strategic interests.
In terms of securing America, inside America, American citizens from so many different threats, there also has to be a change in that aspect as well, of course.
That's a good, excellent question. I think that's also an idea, right, of how we're the perception within America. How do we do that? How do we uphold the rule of law? How do we back up our law enforcement officers? But also there's going to be cross collaboration between the agencies, the three-letter agencies, as well as the FBI and local law enforcement as well. I think that you're going to have to see a lot more profound communications between those agencies to be able to identify threats and basically get rid of them within our homeland.
Actually, talking about Homeland Security, during the campaign, Mr. Trump mentioned Israel, learning from Israel in terms of how Israel deals with terrorism inside the state.
Well, Israel obviously is sort of in the Middle East, of course, they're always dealing with issues. You're always dealing with security issues, sometimes conflict, unfortunately, but you are dealing with that. So there's a lot to be learned about securing borders. There's a lot to be learned about intelligence, communication between domestic law enforcement as well as intelligence agencies in this globalized world that Israel does very, very well. So yes, there is some collaboration and some lessons to be learned from Israel.
What is the statement, what you're trying to say by coming here, by taking part in events like this?
Well, listen, I want to tell you that I believe very, very strongly in the sovereignty in Israel. I agree with the president-elect that the American embassy, should be moved from Tel Aviv. And actually, there's a couple blocks down the street here, as you very well know, there's a good spot for the embassy, and I think it should be there. I think that we should stand with Israel, the Western democracy here in the Middle East, and I'm here to show my support. I'm here to speak about collaborating and making sure that we have a peace and stability in the Middle East, and we stand behind Israel.